Hey guys, got the dogs here, and I'm going to be doing a review today on the SVS PC2000s. As the world's first SVS affiliate, I get all kinds of SVS products to check out, and I've been excited to check these out. These are quite an interesting subwoofer. The PC2000 is the same as the PB2000, it's just a different shape. PB meaning ported box, PC meaning ported cylinder. Same internal, same 500 watt RMS amp with 1100 watt peak, and both will go deeper than you can hear. So in my room now, I haven't measured these yet. I need to do that, but I haven't measured these just yet. But the room response does not. I don't feel like it's any different than the PB2000s, at least in terms of what I can hear. But I'll be doing that later. But overall, my impression of these subs are positive. I like them a lot. They're not much different than the PB2000s. But of course, there are some differences. And some of the benefits you get is they're the same price, but with the PC2000s, you actually get the isolation feet. And I'm a big fan of those. I noticed when I put them on the PB2000s, I got a little bit more output out of them, and everything just sounded a little bit better. So I definitely like the isolation feet, and it makes sense that they would include them in these because of the orientation of the driver. The driver's on the bottom here, and it goes up and down instead of the PB2000 where it comes back and forth. So you get a little bit of different action there. And how does that affect the sound? I think it could vary based on your floor surface, but not a ton. And I think that the AVR picks it up as being a foot further away because the center of the driver is in the middle, and whereas the center of the driver is in the front, and also it has to reflect off the ground before it hits the mic. So it registers about a foot away, and all SVS subs do actually register further away than the actual distance because they've got a slight delay with the DSP processing. So it takes a little bit longer for it to get there. So if you don't have Odyssey and you're setting up your subs, just know that you should add about 2 to 3 feet to the sub's actual distance. And another point to that is I found that adding a couple more feet can actually improve your room response a little bit too. I don't know if you'd go drastic with it, but I found that having my subs set at 18 or 19 feet sound better than setting them at 15 and a half feet, where the AVR picked them up at. So, that's an interesting thing. But in terms of these subs, they are a lot easier to move around. They've got a little ledge on the back where it's got an indentation for the amplifier, and you can move it around a lot easier. That's one thing I like about these. The PB2000s are a little bit more cumbersome to move around. And the speaker cloth, oh, there goes Angel, she's out. The covering for this, and this is something I wondered about myself until I got them, I didn't know. It's basically the same type of speaker cloth you find on the front of the towers or any other SVS speaker. It's basically the same thing, it's just wrapped around. I wasn't sure what it was. I didn't know if it was suede or something. I couldn't really tell from the pictures. So if you're wondering what the cloth material is, that's what it is. It's basically speaker cloth. And that brings me to another point. If you have cats, may not want to do it. They look like giant scratching posts. Fortunately, I don't have cats, so that hasn't been an issue, but I could definitely see where that would be one. One other thing that you'll notice is that they're a little bit tall, and for me, this sub here kind of gets in the way of the TV. And I could push it back, but you don't really want to run the subs all the way against the wall. You want to have them out a little bit. And so that's actually an issue. They do save floor space, but you still need to kind of run them out from the wall a little bit. And if I've got kind of a smaller room here, so the PB2000s actually fit my room a little bit better. They actually look like they were designed to go right next to the entertainment center. So, mild issue, not a big concern. But if it's, if you're going to be setting up something similar, the height of the subwoofer may come into play. So it's something to look at. One other thing is that the PB2000s hide the wiring a little bit better. It's just a little bit better at doing that. And I've got my wiring's all messed up right now anyway. I'm going through amplifiers and getting everything set up, so everything's kind of in a little bit of a disarray. But that's one thing, is that the PB2000s did hide the wires a little bit better. And another thing that I noticed with these, and I'm gonna preface this by saying take it with a grain of salt, is you'll notice I've got wood floors here. And my house isn't brand new here. It's a little bit older, so I have run into issues with rattles and things like that. But fortunately for me, those rattles didn't come on until I was really pushing the subs and pushing the whole system. So I really had to, it wasn't a big issue for me. And what I noticed is that when I put in the PC2000s, those rattles came on a little bit sooner. And so that was an issue for me. And I looked around to see if it was an issue for other people, and it still seems to be a contested thing. Like, people don't necessarily agree on it. So, take that with a grain of salt. I mean, if you've got cement floors or whatever, it's definitely a non-issue for you. But for me, it seems like it just rattles the room a little bit more. You can definitely feel it more, which some people may really want, and I totally get that. But if you feel it more to the point where it's causing rattles, a rattle when it comes to a subwoofer will ruin everything. Hey, Bear. Bear. Come here. Come on. It's okay. All right. Sorry about that. Bear was certain there's something bad going on out front, huh? It's all right, buddy. All right. Go lay down. Go on, buddy. It's okay. Woof. Woof. It's all right. Come on. Go lay down. Yes, yes. Thank you. So that's what it's like working with animals. It's always fun. But anyway, so if you've got some, if you got wood floors, it may be an issue for you to look into in terms of, maybe going with PB2000s, because I noticed a little less rattling. Now, I know what could absolutely happen is I may have, just had a rattle come loose, to where something wasn't rattling and then something just caused it to come loose and now it's rattling all the time. So it could be that. There's no doubt about that. So again, that's why I say take it with a grain of salt. But overall, I'm happy with the PC2000s. They're very cool subs. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier in the video or not, but if you're trying to disguise the fact that you have subwoofers, one potential option is to get a 90-inch round tablecloth, and it should drape over this thing just about right. So you might be able to hide the fact that you have them. And it depends entirely on your decor. I wouldn't be able to hide the fact that I've got them just because of the way my room's set up, but who knows? It depends on your situation. So other than that, I gotta say, good subs. Like I said, a lot easier to move around, which makes a difference for me. But overall, very cool subs. They definitely have their place on the list of best subwoofers, and did exactly what I expected them to do. I mean, there was, the height issue was for some reason I expected them to be a little bit shorter, but hey, it is what it is. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. If you have these subs, if you like them, I personally, for my situation, would probably stick with the PB2000s, just because they just kind of blend in this room a little bit better than the PC2000s, but how it works in your room may be entirely different. So I just thought I'd give an idea of the two. But the performance is definitely there, and no qualms from me. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and please subscribe.